So it's voting day here in the UK, and it's the Game Awards tonight. Hey guys, welcome back to the show, welcome back to the diary. So, it is voting day for the UK. We are voting to find out who we want as minister and who we want in government. So, I kind of want to kick the Tories out because they don't like people like me and everything in between. So, yeah. If you guys are watching this and it is still before 10 PM in the UK and you haven't voted yet, I urge you guys to vote, because I know that you guys might turn around and say, oh, but my vote's not going to count. It technically does. They count spoiled ballot papers and they count non-voters as well. It's better to just put your name next to someone if you can. I mean, granted, you have the right to say, no, I don't want to vote. I have the right to vote. I also have the right not to vote, so I'm not going to. That's fine. Just please don't use your right not to vote because, or under the excuse of, my vote's not going to be counted. It's not going to count to anything. It's not going to make a difference, because it will make a difference. There's a picture online of a group of people split in half. One group's all saying, we didn't vote because our vote wouldn't count, and it's like, you're quite a big group. So it's voting day, and I urge you guys to vote if possible. Doesn't matter who you vote for. I do recommend that you vote Labour, however, especially if you're watching this and you have any kind of learning disability or autism or anything like that, or you have a family member with anything like that, or you know disabled people or people with learning difficulties or anything like that. I recommend you vote Labour for those reasons, because Labour actually cares about you guys. The Tories don't, trust me. Their policies might look cool and interesting and all good, but they're lying. The only way that they're going to get their policies in place is by stealing your benefit money. They're going to cut your benefit money down even more, so you have even less, so that they can do what they said they were going to do. Guys, privatising the NHS is a bad idea. We don't want to turn into the US. It's about $2,400, $2,300 odd dollars just to call an ambulance out, guys. That's around what it is, maybe 2,700. I can't quite remember exactly on the 100, but it is over $2,000 just to call an ambulance out in the US, guys, and that's what's going to happen if the Tories get their way and privatise the NHS. It's not good and it's not right, guys. So, I'm not gonna directly say definitely vote Labour, because that's not really fair. You guys vote the way you want to vote. If you check up on the tactical votes, there is advice on who you should vote for. Certain areas are saying tactically vote Lib Dem. I want to say a little bit something about that. Lib Dem, I've seen nicknamed the Yellow Tories, so just be careful with Lib Dem's policies, because again, they might look good, they might look nice, they might look like they are looking after people like us, disabled people, or mentally disabled people, or autistic people, or anyone who is at a disadvantage in most people's life. They say they're out for us, but if you look at the underline of their policies, they're technically not. Labour have been, from what I can tell, as honest and upfront as they can be with their policies. Sometimes there's little bits of ruling in which they can't say certain things or they can't promise certain things because of how it works out and how they can't promise it if they don't know how it's going to work. But like I've said, Labour, as far as I've seen, have been as honest and upfront as possible, to the point where they are trying to say that they will do stuff, and they're actually trying to say how they're going to do stuff. Like with saying that they're going to scrap university tuition fees. People are saying how they're going to do that. Well, they're going to do that by making big companies like Google pay the taxes that they're currently trying to dodge. So if Google pays their taxes, granted there are big companies like Google that do pay their taxes, and that's great, but there are companies like Google that don't pay their taxes. I'm not saying Google aren't paying their taxes, I'm just saying that Google is a big company that most people are talking about at the minute, and it's most recognizable. So it's easier to put that connection with Google. So companies like Google and YouTube, well, could be paying their taxes. There are companies that don't, and Labour wants to make sure that those companies are adhering to the law that says they have to pay taxes in the UK, and they want to make sure that there's no loophole in the law that allows million and billionaires like Rupert Murdoch, who live overseas in America or in another country or on their own private island, like the two owners of one particular newspaper, I think it's The Independent, I can't quite remember, but they live on their own private island, guys, and they're not paying UK taxes for the money that they make on their paper. And that's not fair because of the loophole that's in the law at the minute that says something along the lines of, well, this is what I'm guessing because of what's going on, the fact of you only have to pay the UK taxes on what you earn if you live in the UK. If you live outside the UK, you don't. No matter how much money you're making, you don't have to pay the UK taxes if you're not a UK citizen. That's what Labour wants to close in on. That's what Labour wants to stop. The fact that if you have a business in the UK or that's making money in the UK, but you live overseas, you don't live in the UK, you're not a UK citizen, you're dodging taxes in the UK on the business of your UK business. And let me know down below, that is today's question. Is that fair? Today's question is it fair that if you own a business in the UK but you live overseas or you live somewhere else, you don't have to pay taxes on that UK business? Is that fair? That's what I want to know in the comments below. But carrying on just slightly, if that's enough political talk for you guys, I'll leave it there. If there's any more you want to know, I will drop it in the comments below. So, the Game Awards. I'm pretty excited for this. There's going to be plenty of first out releases for trailers and stuff of new games. Premiere releases, that's what I was looking for. There's going to be plenty of premieres, there's going to be plenty of new trailers. I'm hoping for a new trailer for Last of Us 2. However, there might not be. It's also depending on games involved and everything like that. It's not like a Game Expo or anything like that in the sense of, oh, we're showing off our work, this is our company, this is what we're doing this year sort of thing. It's not necessarily like that, it's just celebrating the games of 2019 and everything in between. So it's all good, it's all great. So there might not be some new trailers, but I'm hoping that there will be a couple. But I looked into and I put my vote down for some stuff in there, and I was kind of a little bit upset as to what was in the categories, who was in the categories. Granted, Fortnite was in the category, Fortnite BR, that is, guys. I am not going to categorize Fortnite as a genuine VR game because it didn't start out as a VR game, guys. Fortnite was actually a single player, however you could team up with friends, single player survival game. That's what it started out as, guys, and you have a VR now. A BR is not what we meant, guys. So Fortnite's in there, there's a couple of other games, there's CSGO and all that sort of thing. I was surprised that Rainbow Six Siege didn't get so much coverage. Like with the esports team of the year or the esports stream of the year or whatever. as I've said before previously, that I mod for the Rainbow Six Siege Pro League Mixer channel, so I was surprised to see that Rainbow Six Siege wasn't involved in the Pro League stream voting, that it wasn't sort of shortlisted sort of thing, because those streams, especially the Twitch channel, I mean, Mixer's had its fair share of viewers, it's had its fair share of a lot of viewers as well. Back in the day when Mixer was just starting out, when it was Beam, there was more people watching the Mixer channel than there was the Twitch channel, which was absolutely amazing. So going on that, I know what that channel can get like, and I know what it was like. Not to mention, the last Pro League stream I sat in on for all 3 platforms that I know of, which is Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer, they were all pretty nuts. Mixer was quietest, granted, but that's the thing. Mixer these days has become the quietest stream. It's become Twitch and YouTube. It's all about charm claim and rewards. Mixer is actually where a lot of people who want to learn strats, learn peaks, learn angles, and learn gameplay styles, it's where those people that want to learn that stuff go, because it's so much quieter and people can actually discuss what was just going on and what was just being seen and what was happening easier and better, because of the fact that it's so much quieter. There's less trolls. Yes, we have trolls still though, but there's less chat spam. Like with me personally, I mod it to the point where I'm still under the pretense of too many emotes crashes the Xbox. While it might not be a thing anymore, I don't want to risk it. So I say keep emotes to a minimum while still allowing people to do it. When it comes to promote share, I don't accept YouTube channel promotion, I don't accept stream channel promotion or anything like that, but I will allow viewers to swap game tags, whether it's PlayStation, Xbox or PC game tags, anything like that. I don't see that as promotion, because at that point why would you come to watch a game stream if not to make friends that enjoy that game too? Granted, some of the people that come to watch the game don't necessarily play the game, but they still enjoy watching it. Things like Minecraft. I know a few people that don't play Minecraft, but they'll watch Minecraft YouTubers because they're great YouTubers. They make good content and they make engaging content. It's that same thing. It's the same thing. So if you've got a game tag for it, why not share it? Why not post it? So I say to the guys in there, feel free to post game tags, but don't post any other kind of promotion. So that's kind of it, really. I'm excited. I'm happy to see what's going on. I was a bit confused and upset to see some of the people that have been shortlisted, or some of the groups that have been shortlisted. Granted, I'm not saying that Rainbow Six Siege isn't covered at all. Rainbow Six Siege was in quite a few categories. It was in a few categories, particularly, I think it was multiplayer game of the year, or tech server of the year. Not necessarily tech server, but technical help of the year. So basically, I think for that one I voted GTA because of what I'd recently had to do through getting help. But Siege's help advice and listening to the community deserve to be recognised this year, because I think Siege has grown big time, and while some of the operators might seem a little copycat, they are actually listening to the audience. And as far as I know, a few of the operators that are coming in, a small number of the operators, are actually fan-made operators, fan-designed operators. There was one event that one fan went to, and it's actually Knock. I realise it now, it's actually Knock that she took, that the woman took to it, and she'd won, I think it was the fan competition to design one of the new operators, and she designed Knock. So Knock's gadget is just basically that, and she can kind of go invisible, a bit like Visual can. But it's more the fact of she's only really going invisible to drones and to cameras. The same way Visual does. He's not invisible to players, he's only invisible to like a mirror, we'll say, because most cameras have mirrors. It's the same sort of idea, but it's also other things involved as well. And that's a fan-designed character. So Seige does listen to the community, the Seige guys do listen to the community, and while they might not pull stuff out straight away, they are pulling stuff out as and when they can. Like, I'm enjoying the way Seige has set itself up at the moment, in the sense of each new season, when it comes to a map, it's alternated now. It's alternated between new map or rework map. So every other season you'll get a new map compared to the other one where you get rework. And that I like, because it shows that they're thinking, some of our old maps don't work. I think they need to rework. They might need to rework Plane next, if not Yacht. They need to rework Yacht next, or Plane, because Yacht's irritating to play on. It's good. It's a good map. It's just awkward. Really, really awkward, because of the way that it works, the way you move through it. Some of the time, depending on certain areas, there is only really one surefire way of playing that site, if not there's two. But when someone knows the best way to play that site, you're screwed. You are completely messed up if you're on defense, because all they need to do is rush and gun, and you're done. You're done for. Because if you're on kitchen, you got the hatch literally right above the bomb, as it were. You drop, and the bomb's like right in front of the wall. Smoke plant, maybe a couple of traps down as you go. Drop, plant, and it's kind of over and done with, because most of the time people don't sit in kitchen to watch, and people don't reinforce that top hatch. It's like I said, there's normally one surefire way of playing it, if not there's two. And if they know that way of playing it, if you're on defense, it's sided towards attack, and it's just no. That's why I think Yacht needs to rework next, if not Plane. Plane again, because it's just too linear. I mean, yes, you can come in from both ends of the plane, but the fact that it is just along one line, granted, it's hard to make different areas and different pathways into sites when you're on something like a plane that is pretty much straight. So it's kind of an awkward thing to talk about as a problem, but it's the way that the rooms are laid out and the way that it's set up. I like the fact that it's got seating areas. That makes it more like a proper plane. I like the fact that it's got luggage hold, more like a plane. It's just the fact that there's either too much going on, or there's not enough. There are so many different places to hide, which is good, but there's also so many different places to get screwed over. There's too many ways for defenders to be caught into traps. There's too many ways for attackers to either get a upper hand or to lose. I mean, while I'm saying attackers lose, it is highly attack friendly. Granted, they nerfed to mean pull down, buff to make better. They nerfed Glaz, which is the sniper in the game. To begin with, the second you look down the sniper scope, anyone was yellow, purely yellow. Now, you have to focus on that person for a couple of minutes. Well, not a couple of minutes, but for at least 20 seconds before they'll actually fully glow yellow. which is really good. But it's still a problem on plane because of the fact that Glaz just sits on the wing and looks through the windows of the plane to shoot the defending team, so that the attackers can just get in and continue killing the rest or plan. Not to mention, plane is too easy for runouts, spawn peaks. It's too easy for defenders to do. That's why plane needs a rework as well. I'd probably prioritize plane over yacht, purely only because yacht's still technically viable. It's still playable, it's still workable. You can still deal with the problems that it's got. It's just that it's irritating and most people would prefer not to play on yacht. But plane, in my eyes, plane's just the toxic players map. It's a map for the players that want to be toxic because of how easy it is not only to spawn peek but to run out for a spawn kill sort of thing. It's far too easy and it's just not fair. So that's it for me today, guys. I've given you the question already, but I'll give it you one more time. Is it fair that UK business holders can live somewhere else in the world, still make money off their UK business, but don't have to pay tax for it? Is it fair? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with my verdict on the Game Awards, maybe with a few clips if I can get away with it. And if they've announced it, I'll do what I can to mention who has won the general election here in the UK. So, that's it for me today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. See ya! Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another crime scene.